I don't know if you can allow me.
How do you see it?
So, bantu banankana mu industry for 20 years. So mostly when we are doing the podcast, I sit like this.
Okay.
But I know Zambians, I don't know if you're okay me sitting like this.
No, I don't mind.
Bazakamba tili building.
As long as you feel relaxed, I mean, who am I?
But if I was your son and I'm seated like this while you're talking to me, would you find it disrespectful?
It depends when and where.
Okay.
If we are the two of us, like you and I, we are seated like this, why not?
Okay.
Because I just feel like it's my son now.
Okay.
So feel free.
Okay, thank you very much for allowing us. But let's talk about 20 years in the music industry.
Yes.
How has it been for you?
A lot of memories, good ones, bad ones. I remember 2004 when I became on the scene. It was like very few female artists, and then I was one of those who really wanted from the time I was young to say, in Nikasiriza school I want to become a singer. But I was scared to tell my family. I told my mom though, because she really used to sing at home. That's why I used to hear some of the traditional songs, Nimvereda, and then being somebody who loves music, I didn't realize on my own that tuenzo kungena tuma lyrics in my head. And then when I told her to say, I want to do music, she said, go ahead, I support you. Though in my time I could. She also wanted to be a singer, but it was a ambit part in those years where you say something like that. It was like Monga Wankalandiwe, rebellious child or something. You couldn't even utter that word. She was a teacher, but she really loved music and supported me. So 20 years when I started, 2004, it was crazy because just after 1 week of releasing Malo Abuino album, it was all over Zambia. We didn't have Facebook, no. It was just ZNBC TV. There was not even movie TV was there then. There was just ZNBC TV and a few radio stations that couldn't even reach 10, but it was all over Zambia, and the support was massive. I didn't expect it. I just wanted to do what I loved, but I thank God that we received so much support. Malo Abuino, 2 years later Ngoma, 4 years later Zambian Girls. I had so many wonderful privileges that I didn't expect. I had an encounter with Miriam Makeba, somebody who inspired me at my tender age. I used to imitate her. Shalamwana, I had a function, I remember in 2006, where it was written Angela Nyirenda and Shalamwana. I couldn't believe it myself. I was like, okay. Yeah, so many things happening, the good ones, and over... I remember when I'll take you back in 2004 when we were launching at Mulungushi. It was packed to capacity inside, but unfortunately there were more people outside who couldn't access.
Wow.
It was unbelievable.
2004?
4 years.
And that was like your first album?
My first album. And guess what? Some people were saying, we mwana huyu. I'm sure anabona na mankwala niwakuma anachoka kuchipata kai Malawi ilipavu, such things.
So nkani kuti vantu vakambati muntu akapita nkala star sinambe manje apa manje vantu amakambati kuli Illuminati, Satanism back then kweze nkani ya mankwala
kudala wenze it's all about what you hear. I remember before Nigerian movies we didn't have that thing of Satanism in the vocabulary. We used to have stories like muntu akafa, like maybe in a family we all look at nindani yamuloha nindani. There was such things. So sometimes people say tiende kunganga tione wameamuloha, but nowadays we hear ni Satanism, maybe ana join a Satanism. Or some people even talk about certain things. You wonder, how do they know about all those details? Have they ever been in a situation where anaona katuyo Satanist achita even? Because we always hear about them. We've never seen things happening there and then, So, that's a price you pay for being in in the limelight. Because sometimes people lie about you, bad things. Sometimes good things, they will say Angela Nyirenda's got a shopping mall, of which is not true. I also get surprised. You know, because they love you so much, and then they want to put you where they are dreaming of, you know. But sometimes there have been challenges. This is Zambia. Those are the challenges that I've faced in the music industry, where even if it gets tough, but you know, when you love something, you just keep hoping and you know, working hard towards it, knowing that maybe the future will be greater. And that's what it has been. Fortunately, Malo Abuino, being 20 years old now this year, I tell you, I've survived on that one. And not only me, I'm able to take my children to school, my relatives, people who are not related to me have benefited from my works. And guess what? I didn't know that at a certain point, I'll be gracing kitchen parties every weekend, weddings, you know, because of the lyrical content that is in my music.
You're making it sound so easy, as if it was just like 1, 2, 3. Someone just wakes up, they're done with their school, they are allowed by their parents to start doing music. Did we have any challenges, maybe convincing other relatives? Because Kumankala ija, maybe, I don't know, in your time, Kuma 204, where a woman being in the industry, the music, they regard it saying,
it's true. No. My mom, I mentioned my mom was so supportive. But everyone else, I wouldn't want to mention their names because they would feel uncomfortable. Others are late now. But they were like, mwaimvera ngani mwana huyu atayamba music azimboimba mataveni kungotiriwa chihuku. You know, they made it look ugly, such that if I was that person, wachifukusha, I would have said, let me just stop it. But I was just laughing because I knew when I was getting in the industry. I had ideas already, because before I became a solo artist, I was a backing vocalist. So I knew what really people perceived music to be for a female artist. So wenzo kukamba ndipo awe mwanti vintu vavuta uyu mwana uyu kaya. So later on now, okay, I just ignored that one. But later on, when they heard my music by radio, but they see me on TV, they were like, ni mwana watu.
Now they want to be supportive.
Yes. You know, but you know, that's how parents are. Some parents would say, iwe mwana sakankade footballer, we don't want this. We took you for school, ukashite vintu volongoso. But then, wakaona that child is making it. Abamangira na nyumba, we thought this, but you just accept, because they mean well. They don't want you to suffer, or maybe to be a beggar in the end. So sometimes you want somebody to do what you are thinking is right. Meanwhile, mamu valiza ma opportunities.
So if you were not an artist, what would you have been?
You know, that question Lazarus Tembo asked me when I was in grade 7.
Okay.
What would you like? I don't know if you know Lazarus Tembo. He was a minister in Kaunda's time, and also a singer. The one who sang Diki yo 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 gojangombe ziende, and then there was a song like Kola with like a bed. Inetundine Kola. I don't know if you could know that song. Those who can relate. Yes. So that man was a friend of the family, and then he asked me. He was blind. He wasn't born blind, but he became blind when he was older. I think after Wasiliza school. So he asked me, what would you want to become when you grow up? I was in grade 7, and I said I want to become a musician. I said, oh, okay. If I will be there, I will help you, because I'm a musician. And then he said, well, if not, what would you like to become? I said, a journalist. I said, it's all about giving out messages, but differently. So I just want to give out messages, talk to, on behalf of the voiceless. So it could be either through music or through being a journalist. That's what I said. And I meant it. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting thought. Now let's talk about women in music. After 20 years, seems like we still have less women in the industry. Some will come at a certain point. Was that person for you, you have been there and you have been doing this for 20 years plus. How's it been for you, making sure that you are just there, you stayed there, and you are appreciated as one of the artists that's been there, and everybody that's watching right now, they give you respect?
I would say love for oneself is very important. When you love yourself, you take care of yourself physically, mentally, and everything else about you, and you respect yourself apart from loving yourself. So it's not easy as a female artist. There are a lot of temptations. I mean, me, when I started music, everyone was like, hey, Kamukashana, very beautiful. What all like almost all the men want you. I was young then and beautiful, and if I was crazy, I that got into my head, where will I be now? I would have had stories like, hey, Nadinaba, Nana.
It wasn't on social media. But it was on stories that is
sometimes people become so creative when they don't have what to use. You'd people would write to my notes, to my letters. I'm performing on stage, this I want to talk to you, Chan.
Yeah.
And then I would tell that some person to say, take it back, to say, sorry, I don't talk to people or using letters. If they have anything to say, they should come and tell the whole team what it's about. So I would answer in certain ways that at a certain point, some men also hated me, apart from women who hated that attention from maybe men that they could hear from. So some men hated my guts. They'll be like, this girl, what is it with her? So, but sometimes you just have to be a normal person. Not get that idea of being a celebrity, then I have to use whatever fame I have to, in whichever situation. That way, the moment this one talks about you, this one talks about maybe 5 guys, especially as a woman, wakukamba, no, I was with that girl, no, try also, she's very easy. Wakakambapo kayangani, you reach a point where they will know where you are and what you do, but people will not even say hi to you. I've seen artists who have reached that level. So self-respect is very, very important in the industry, and not to get big-headed just because you are a public figure, a celebrity, people love you, and you take that for granted. You not make it in music. It's very important to know, to set your goals, to say, what is my purpose? What do I want? Do I want to get in the industry so that men should be all over me? Or do I want to be in the music industry because nifuna nizibike chape, but kuzibika for what? Know your purpose. It's very important. Why are you in the music industry? Me, first of all, I started music because I love it. And I knew to say certain things, certain issues are better talked about in a song than just talking. And sometimes a message can be delivered to a lot of people through music than just talking in a closed room. So those were some of the reasons, and of course loving music and knowing that no matter what, I'll stand by it, and it's something that's going to make money for me. And guess what? This time, a week never passes without me performing at kitchen parties, weddings. The lyrical content also has really helped throughout the years in my industry, helped a lot of parents to entrust in me to, grace their children's marriages, parties, and all. So I thank God for that, because I didn't know that it will end up in this direction.
I'm just thinking, when you were recording the other songs back then, I'm still going back to that time, and now we're talking about 20 years. Your music is still playing, and people are still booking you for the shows. when you were writing, or maybe when you were producing songs, did you see it saying, I want to make music that will live and impact a lot of people's lives? Or maybe you're just doing it because you're just excited, you just wanted to be an artist?
Actually, I've written very few songs. They wouldn't even reach 12, maybe 10. I've written a few songs. Some of them I'll just start something, maybe a chorus, and then Moses Sakala is the man behind the whole thing.
Wow.
Yes, he's a writer, he's a producer. I would come up with something like my first album. I came up with a song Kuzwayo. It was just the chorus, and then he asked me, so what else do you want to talk about? Because I was just singing Kuzwayo mwana wangu, and then a bit of Nyirenda mwana kangu neo. Then I was stuck. Then what would you want to talk about your son? And then I started writing a few things, and then that's it. So started translating from English to Ngoni, and then the melody, it goes, and then where I wasn't doing well, I said, no, do this. So he's got that talent of shaping you, even when you have your own song. At the end of the day, it will change for the better, of course. So he's the one who writes a lot. Nupempako Maki. Chikondi Chanzimu Naochi was supposed to be his song, but after the musicians, the guys who were playing instruments, heard him playing as we were waiting to go for rehearsals, they were like, this song is nice. Can't we put it in the album? And then he was like, this is my song, guys. No. So that's how we recorded Chikondi Chanzimu Naochi, and of course Kuzwayo, which I wrote. And then the others were traditional songs, like we said, because I wouldn't want to just do soul music. I also wanted to represent our country through traditional songs. So we got a traditional song, the Bemba one, Uwinga Mwanchita Mfulo. And then we went ahead and said we also need to do the Tonga song, Ndaea Kwenda. We did that one. And then we did, for the first time, with the first ones to do Ngoni songs on instruments, because they were quite difficult to put instrumentations, but we said we'd try it out. That's how we did Ndina Mayona Ndina. Yeah, so the album only had 7 songs, the first one. We were hoping to do 8, but we only managed to do 7, and that was the beginning.
There's something that we're pushing as the current generation. I don't know in your time if you were also hoping that you get the collaborations. You mentioned saying you were looking at the Shalamwana when they were performing. Did you, at some certain point, hoping that you can collaborate and work with them? There are less collaboration from the Angela and Nyirenda.
No. From that time, there were no collaborations.
There were no people collaborating.
You have to stand, especially if you're a beginner. You can't just go and say, no, I want you to feature on my song. It was unbelievable. First of all, you have to prove yourself as you on your own, because as a new artist, you collaborate with somebody. That somebody will look like they are the owners of that song, because they already have their name. So you have to make your own name first, then you collaborate again with somebody who already has a name. That's what used to happen then, but not too much. I mean, look at Bob Marley. Did you see him collaborate with anyone? No. He only changed from Bob Marley and the Wailers and just Bob Marley and the Melody Makers, just the backing vocalist. So you have to prove yourself. If you can stand on your own, then you're good to go.
So it's a wrong move for an upcoming artist watching right now to collaborate before they are known.
I personally feel it's not a good idea. They have to prove themselves first, because some people will think they are leaning on somebody who's already known. Sometimes they might have talent, but you just have to believe in yourself and know to say, I will do this, and then that someone, oh, okay, so I want to do something with you. And then I'll be like, why not? Let's do this. And for us, what we do is, you come, you say, I want to collaborate with you. First of all, we have to understand what the message that you want to portray, and the lyrical content, because our music, the lyrics are carefully, selected so that we don't harm families and everyone else. The lyrical content is very important to us.
The other thing I also want to get to find out is you mentioned about vajavamuna vajavenzoyesa vayesa. Vayesa, like where they were trying their luck.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know whether they were trying to date you, or maybe they were just looking at this superstar, the artist.
Dating also comes in. You would know that this is real dating. Somebody wants to propose in a good way, not at a function just because they've seen a lot of people cheering you, and then boom, suddenly interest comes in. You'd know to say this is not real. It's out of excitement. Yeah.
So I want to find out how your husband managed to convince you.
I also don't know.
What's the story? How did he manage?
No, the thing is, it's very easy when you're doing the same thing, you have same interests. Is somebody who, he was a friend first. He was a friend, and then I don't even know how it all started, because sometimes I could tell him. Yeah, I could tell him about somebody who is admiring me, like a friend telling a friend. So what do you think? Such things, like very free. And I didn't know that maybe at some point I was offending him, telling him too much about personal things, like a guy who is interested in me. I tell him as a friend. And then, such things. But later on, we just fell in love without any difficulties or complications. Humble. And then some people even say, but Angela, so on. How do you just, go out with a poor musician? Zaka, others would be like, Zalema, Zakatava. So they didn't know really. Some people fall in love with so many wrong reasons. I would say wrong because that's what I feel. Because I wouldn't say I fell in love because of I wanted money or something. Yeah.
There's the current awards that are happening right now. Every time there's always an award that is trending. I don't know if you pay attention to stories on social media.
Sometimes I do.
So I don't know if you're aware that there's a nomination that has come in for Lishombe. In a category for indigenous and folk. Did you find it disrespect when you find yourself in such categories? Are you after 20 years, are you still excited?
Sometimes I feel like the people who are putting up those awards don't have the right terminologies to where to put certain songs. Like Lishombe is a song that we're really proud of as Zambians. Look at our ceremonies. They are not like dead, like we buried them, like we're trying to remember. We used to have maybe in Chwala as a traditional ceremony. No, it's still there right now. And then that song, Lishombe, something that would make somebody who is Ngoni proud, and of course as Zambians at large, to say, okay, the Ngonis culture yao ni, and when you listen to that song you would relate to say, let me remember where I come from as a Zambian. So that's our pride. So indigenous, maybe if you could explain what the word indigenous means.
Let me try to search for the meaning so that I don't get it wrong, so that I know also how it's defined.
Yeah.
But when you saw the awards, I want to find out. Are you excited to even maybe post about it? Excited, maybe hoping that you would win the award?
It's in the hands of the fans, because that song really brought togetherness. It's not only about the Ngonis, because a lot of people were even telling us in January to say we are going to go to the ceremony to see Vampezeni and to also listen to Lishombe, because this song, and those were not Ngonis. That song has really brought so much unity in Zambia. We feel like it's an anthem a Zambian anthem, a traditional anthem, not only for the Ngonis, but once we listen to it, I remember this Bemba woman who was telling me, say, when I wake up, I put that song, Lishombe, and then after listening to that song, then I'll go straight into my prayers for the day. I was like, oh, that's how strong you feel about it. She says yes. So yeah, I feel like it's in the hands of the people.
So this is what indigenous means: originating or occurring naturally in a particular place, or maybe if we can describe it in another way, inhabiting or existing in a land from the earliest time or from before arrival. I don't know, colonial.
No. So in this case, then it doesn't mean that in this song, because this song was written in the 2000s. Yeah. Created as a traditional song by somebody who is Ngoni, who writes, because most of the songs by Ngonis, they're still written, but in a traditional way. Because if you listen to the traditional Ngoni songs, they've got this melody which is almost similar but not boring. To say I heard this kind of tune before, it sounds boring. No, it's not. It's you'd listen to like Dina Mayona Dina Yawera Konkwala, and then you listen Mayona Dinda Muta. Those are medley songs, but they sound almost the same, but so interesting, you won't forget. So this is Mayona Lishombe Lishombe Tevana Chingon. It sounds almost the same, right? But it's the way they are written. Those are traditional songs. So people who take traditional music like maybe ancient, I don't know what they mean, because it's like we are trying to run away from our own culture and bury our own traditions and forget about it.
I'd also want to find out about you losing a child, maybe in 2-3 minutes. How did that one affect your music career, and how did you move on and get back and continue doing what you love?
Yeah. Losing a child is not something that you can talk about like it's something like an event that happened like freely. It's not easy. It's something that you learn to live with. You can't forget, but you learn to live with it, and just appreciate God for giving you that person for a certain period of time, because it's something that you can't forget easily. So yes, I lost Kuzwayo in 2016. He was already a grown-up boy, 15 years. This year he would have turned 23. But I just say I thank God for the time that I had him, and I always think about him, and I always appreciate motherhood. He was my firstborn child, and I appreciate all the people that were there to help me, to be comforted. And it's just good that I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. And through prayer, you can have a lot of sympathy through reading the Bible, and through the people that were helping, the family and but it's not something that you can forget. You learn to live with it. Yes.
So after losing a child, in that moment, some people tend to give up. Some people don't want to continue doing what they love most. In your case, I know even prayer, supportive and other things. In your case, did it change on how you perceive life itself?
Yeah. Sometimes you'd hear, I remember just that time when we lost him, people would write messages like it is well, and then you don't understand the word it is well. You're like, what are they talking about? Some people be like, no, you just have to do this. Like so many people talking, telling you this, that. But wagani zaweka kuti, they don't know what I'm feeling. I'm the one who understands, and I'm the one who is going to control myself. I have 2 other children. Yes, and then my son, the young brother to Kuzwai, he was he was 9, and then he would be like, "Mommy, are you okay?" And then he knows to say, "I'm thinking of Kuzwai." Then he'll be like, "No, don't worry, Kuzwai is in a better place," telling me things like it's an elderly person. And then I would feel guilty, so when I feel like I want to cry, I would just go in the bedroom and say, no, I want to go and sleep. I lock myself, I will cry, come out, and then when he sees my eyes swollen, and "Are you okay? Were you crying?" I said, "No, I have this headache." And I was trying to explaining. Yeah, but so many things have happened. But I thank God for the people, for the love.
I don't want to get emotional. You're already making me emotional.
Yeah, I know.
It's an emotional story. But let's get to move on to another thing. The current generation. There are women. I don't know if you pay attention to the current female artists.
I do.
That are doing music.
Yeah.
Who do you listen to? Maybe in your free time, and you listen to their music, saying, we are kumbusa neo, pamenezo yamba. Or maybe you listen to different music.
Kumbusa neo.
Hey.
No, I listen to them all. Good music is good music. It doesn't matter what type of music you do. You listen to all. You'd be really shocked if I tell you that I listen to hip hop.
Woo!
I do.
Okay.
And I would know to say this is good hip hop. It will go certain ways. It will make it on the charts.
So you listen to Chef 187?
Very much. Very, very much. And I like the way he does his kind of hip hop. It's got that traditional touch. You could tell where is this coming from? Somebody would want to know where it comes from. And I would proudly say I'm happy that it comes from Zambia. Done by Chef.
Okay. There's also been trending on social media. I want to find out from you. I don't know if you are aware about the genres of music.
Yeah.
Hip hop, Kalindula, Zamrock,
yeah.
R&B, other things. I don't know if you know the song, the 360 song, by Chef 187 and James Sakala. Let me try to play the song for you.
Yeah, please.
Let me try to play a snippet of the song. Maybe you might have an idea. So we are still on the awards. So the what's been happening, the debate, sparkling on conversation, and I'm happy that I'm having you right now. I just want to find out from you whether you can consider this song to be a hip hop song, or maybe you feel like the sound is different. I'm just going to play maybe a minute. I'm sure you might be familiar. It's one of the songs that Chef dropped 4 months ago.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a song.
The mass. Yeah, l'organisateur du mass, the chef mass.
Yeah, it's all about you like it's your birthday. Sanko Pyama loving in the West Way. Bad girl, just like your shirt say. Fruits of my labor, they can't taste it. Dead chili penga na kusenda kauti. Tiondange, what the hype is all about. My way, they no need to ask out.
I don't know, are you familiar with the song?
No, I haven't heard it, but yeah.
So it's one of the biggest songs.
Happening.
It's been getting amazing
look
feedback.
But definitely.
But I agree. I agree. Maybe you have a lot of different tastes of music.
Yeah.
But I want to find out from the sound that you hate from this. There are the drums playing, and now there's debates on social media. Like, from what you've heard so far, do you feel it can be placed in a hip hop category?
Yes, Zambian hip hop.
Okay.
This is why I was saying, if you're doing hip hop in Zambia, it shouldn't sound like an American hip hop artist. It's good, it's sounding like that, but placed in a hip hop category in Zambia. There's nothing wrong with that, I feel, personally.
Yeah.
Where is it going to be a Kalindula song? No, it won't fit.
I don't know, I'm asking the legendary.
Because even in the Kalindula, they said it's good that it picked a little bit of these, snippets of Kalindula, what, and hip hop itself, but it's more on a hip hop. So maybe if they call it Zambian hip hop, yeah.
There's also issues to do with people have dreams to win Grammys, get somewhere with their careers, where they want to go international. What would be your message to other artists that are watching this conversation, where you feel like we need to improve? you listen to different music, but where do you feel like we need to improve for other people who are not Zambians to accept what we do? For a long time now, we've been talking about what is Zambian music. How do we need to make sure that abantu abaletamba, maybe people from other countries, to identify saying, I'm listening to a Zambian song? And do you feel like if someone listens to a Zambian song, are they going to say, okay, so this is Zambian, and this is
So
our
just
Zambian?
that the chef and I didn't listen to James Sakala's part, but that song, somebody would want to find out, to say, where is this hip hop coming from? So you have to put all the time, make sure that within these 10 provinces, pick something that you can, because there, when you pick from our traditional, music that we have, which is very raw, we have a lot in Zambia, because a lot of musicians are not interested to pick from our own. They would rather wait until some Nigerian is trending from their own traditional music. Then they will try very hard here back home, trying to sound like a Nigerian, which is wasting time, because those people are already there. So the only way we can change and start winning Grammy Awards, if that's what you are aspiring to do, you have to work on your own traditional music, make hip hop from a traditional point of view and improve it. Of course, it's not that people will accept it. No, it's not all the time that when you write a song, no matter how much you may like it yourself, you find that people don't like it. So from there, you shouldn't be disappointed. You have to be made like, okay, napunziridapo, let me work even harder so that next time people should appreciate me and do marketing. Because already in Zambia, we do things on our own as artists. We don't have serious record labels that would market the music outside. Don't you wonder sometimes you hear a song, sikamvikana bwino, but you hear that it's nominated and be like, but we got good music in Zambia. Why is it not reaching there? It's marketing also. Because an artist can only go up to the point where you sing, you write your music, you record, and then you can't now become a marketing person as an artist, of which we do here. If you just record and sit back and wait, no one is going to help. So those are the things that we need to sit down together. We need to have meetings at artists to say, well, how are we going to do this? And mostly you find that chance they can market, they'll just hold it to themselves. Mongani, they are dealing with my drugs. They don't tell others. And it's something that is very painful, like especially for the younger artists, because you convince your parents, no, look, this is happening, I can do it. And then you reach a point where you're stuck. You have all the talent, but nowhere to go. Yeah.
Apart from you being booked, Nkadiyama royalties, Nkadiyama copyrights, the music that you've done, are you still getting money from all these music that people have been playing? Is it also paying off?
It is. We get a bit from Zamcorps, though there's this issue of, there was a point in my music career where we used to suffer from piracy, because there were those CD, people pirate our music, and you you sell a few copies yourself, but you find that a lot of copies are sold by Bama Pirate. So after that, we went into selling music online, Vachinja Vinto, and then again, apart from that piracy only, kuma CD and this time our music is sung by Tuma bands, the mushrooming bands. Find that they will sing, people even request, sing us Angela Nyirenda song while I'm sleeping at home, and then somebody's getting paid over my music. So there's a lot of that being done, of which I hope at some point Zamcorps will come in to start charging the bar owners, because it's very difficult to deal with it. So the bar owners can pay something if at all they do bring live bands.
Which is called acapellas?
Not
acoustic?
They would do acoustic, even the whole band playing.
Okay.
Yeah, they would sing 1, 2, 3 songs of mine without paying me. But that has to bring income to me, because it's my music. It's Copyright. Look at, I always give an example of people, the late musicians. You find that their music is being played by these bands, but the families are not given anything. I mean, a family always has to benefit from the works of their parents. Not even going to school and then somebody's playing your daddy's music. How do you feel? So, but in Zambia, it has become like it's normal. Meanwhile, it's not. Yeah. So there's a lot that we have to learn as artists as well as fans.
You are celebrating 20 years from the start of the conversation. I even said 20 years in the industry plus. You had an event that was happening. I also want to find out you crowned someone. You gave them your blessings.
Yeah.
What was that about?
Okay, so we did. It was me and Alice Charlie from Amaenge. So we're thinking to say, after all, we haven't lost it all. There are some artists who love playing the traditional music that we do, because people have been asking us, so now what if you retire or you are gone, who is going to take up this kind of music? Because if you don't help others, then we'll say Taibalako Zambian music it will be totally completely lost. So what's happening? And that's when we said, we've discovered these two ladies who sing very, very well at their age, and then hence, as we are still strong and able to advise where we can, we'll give them a torch.
Which two ladies are those?
There's Tausi and Rifa.
Okay.
They sing very well. Traditional music, yes.
So is it like one of those people that you've spent so much time with for you to
training?
to
Yes.
train?
Yeah, Mr. Sakala has been training them. For Tausi, we've worked with her for 3 years, training her. Of course, thinking everything you do, foreign, that's what is good, that's what is acceptable. But whenever chinja, now they are singing as Zambians. Look at South Africans. I always give an example of South Africans. Those people wankala na bazungu hapa na hapa. But have you seen them kunkala kupondoka kunkala monga niba Jamaica ni Africans? No. You have to love yourself. Like I said in the beginning, love yourself, believe in yourself. Not in the mwana you are embarrassed because your father didn't go to school. You can't even say my father is a security guard just because you work in the bank. When you have that mindset, it's the same thing as in music. Love yourself and love where you come from. Charity begins at home. There are all those things. Yeah, be proud of who you are. And that's what has made me stick to my traditional music. I've dead kwa bwiraivu, but never, not even once have I ever said no. Naleka manje makewane music. I think the music. I mean no.
You're back again recording. Kulibe fia ija yakuti maybe there'll be judgments. Bena ngwagamba ati mwakula sidanko ni wafana mene waimba kulibe vaso.
No, a musician never retires. Sometimes timawambera abantu wakuti wachita retire music tianga nakocha, but okay. A musician never retires. Look at Dolly Parton. How old is Dolly Parton? You know Dolly Parton?
Yes.
How old is she?
I'm not
She's
sure.
She's in her 80s. Look at Miriam Makeba. She died just after finishing her performance, I hear. Look at Hugh Masekela. I wouldn't give a lot of examples of Zambian women because, like I said, Bambi Diswenzeko. But Maureen Leland is still singing. Niwakuru in the music industry. She's still singing. A Zambian musician never. I mean, a musician does not retire unless kudima challenges like my sickness, physical, or you can't perform. But you never retire. You can always go back. If you are unable to perform on stage, you can help write music, mentor. Yeah.